What's up, guys? Welcome to a brand new video. We are at our apartment, which I know is kind of off-brand for us.
Yeah, we try not to do too many in-house videos. We prefer definitely to do things when we're out and about, but Florida is not in the greatest position right now when it comes to COVID, and unfortunately we can't get into the theme parks yet, or at least I can't. So it's probably gonna be a while. So we thought we would shoot a video from here.
Yeah, we're gonna mix in some at-home videos. I've gotten plenty of suggestions from you guys on some at-home video ideas, and you know we have plenty of footage from our adventures out in the parks and the resorts and everything. So we figured we can do kind of these commentary style videos. But today's video is going to be all about Disney's Riviera Resort. So about a week and a half ago, we spent 2 nights at Riviera Resort. It was beautiful.
It was gorgeous. So Riviera Resort is the newest resort on Disney property. They opened in December, and while we were there, the cast members were telling us how they were open for 92 days, and then they were closed for 95. So literally, when we stayed there, hardly anyone had stayed in the room that we had been in. We had a beautiful 2-bedroom villa. We loved it. If you'd want to check it out, we do have a video tour of the villa. Totally awesome. I definitely recommend it.
Yeah, definitely. It was plenty of space. We had a preferred view, so the view was amazing. It was just awesome. There weren't many people there, obviously. This is right before, about a week and a half before the parks officially even did like the previews, which is going on right now as we're filming this. But it was just a great time. And so today we're going to be talking about the pros and cons of the Riviera Resort, in our opinion. We've now stayed there for a few nights. We've gone there for a visit. We did a whole resort tour. We did a video on that. So just so you know, there's going to be footage while we're talking throughout this video of the Riviera Resort. And it's going to be, some of it's going to be pre-COVID, some of it's going to be post-COVID. So if you see us walking around the resort without our mask on, that's because it's from December of 2019. So I promise you we are always following rules and regulations before anybody spazzes on Jared in the comments, which I never want that. Yes, let's get to it. We're going to talk about pros, which are honestly the majority of the video. It's gonna be pros.
Honestly, we definitely had to rack our brains to come up with some cons, but I think the first pro and the biggest pro is that the resort is beautiful and brand new. I think when they were building this resort, they were kind of going just for the whole aesthetic to be a big part of it, so it really has that quiet European vibe. It's a pretty small resort, so it feels a little quainter than most of the Disney resorts, in comparison, compared to, contemporary, which I feel like is really busy and it's all hectic all the time. But this, I just felt like it was really gorgeous and it was very peaceful. Which I know can be really nice, especially if you're going to be in the parks all day and you come back to your resort, you kind of just want to chill a little bit, or if you want to chill day by the pool, it's a really great vibe.
Yeah, definitely. I felt like having that cleaner, more, obviously European influence, but cleaner, more modern look to the resort gave it a very pleasing aesthetic, and I felt like walking around it just made me feel very I don't know how to explain it. I was just in a very clean, well put together establishment. And a lot of Disney resorts, even the deluxe ones, feel almost not necessarily discombobulated, but there's a lot going on, and they're so spread out and they're so big. And although we did kind of, on our con side of this, did feel that this resort is definitely small, it kind of does work for what it's going for, and the fact that it is just very, modern and clean and new, which.
Right. So the con that kind of goes along with that is that it is a really small resort. For those of you who don't really know the setup of the resort, basically most of the area that you hang out in when you're not in your room is all kind of the courtyard in the middle that has the 2 pools, that has some fire pits, the beach and stuff. So just not a ton of privacy, not a lot of quiet areas. You can definitely, even from the quiet pool, you can kind of hear the loud pool area. Personally for us, that's not a huge issue, but I can imagine it gets pretty hectic in there, say during Christmas time when the resort is booked full. So that's definitely something to keep in consideration.
Yeah, not a huge lobby area, not a huge walking around area. It's when you compare it to some of the other deluxe resorts, right off the bat, think of the Polynesian. You're walking into that lobby and it's huge. There's 2 stories. There's so much space. There's and then you're walking out to the courtyard. Then there's pool. There's so much space to walk around. Like it's a very different resort in that aspect where it is small and quaint. And when you stay there in times like Molly and I did, which was in the first week after COVID, or COVID's reopening rather, it was so nice because there weren't many people there anyway. So it felt almost like we had our own private resort.
Yeah.
So in that way, I guess kind of our recommendation would be like kind of plan that out accordingly. If you're going to do the Riviera, we would recommend going at a time that isn't crazy busy, because the more hectic it is, like the more kind of clumped in that resort you're going to feel. All right, so going into like our second pro here, and I know Molly's going to agree with me on this one, we love to walk. And honestly, outside of maybe the boardwalk, this might be the best location on Disney now to go for a great walk.
Right. So unfortunately, when we were there, we weren't really able to experience the walk that we love so much. But because Caribbean Beach Resort is right next to Riviera, it creates a loop around that big lake, and it's a really great walk, and it's a lot of fun because you get to see the Riviera Resort, but then you can also walk through Caribbean Beach and kind of get the vibes with those. It's a lot of beach fronts and cute little buildings, and again, just really peaceful, really relaxing.
Yeah.
And we really love it. We didn't get to do it just because Caribbean Beach was closed due to COVID. It hadn't reopened when we were staying there. But Caribbean Beach should be opening probably within the next couple of months.
Yeah,
So in the future,
phase reopenings
it
right
won't
now.
be an issue.
Yeah, for sure. And I like Molly mentioned, there is like a little beach section at the Riviera, which is really nice to go sit on a chair at nighttime. But when the sun's going down, you can't beat that walk. I mean, you
Nothing
can grab a
better
drink.
than getting a drink and going for a stroll with your honey.
That's me. And there's just it's just a great spot. There's great food over at the Caribbean Beach. There's plenty of like, even if you wanted to go for a farther walk within the Caribbean Beach, and that kind of brings us, on the topic of location to our next pro here is the Skyliner, having access to the Skyliner.
Right, which is super great. So the Skyliner has what do you call them? Ports?
I don't know.
A stop.
Station?
A station, yes. No, it's station. You're right. They have a station right at the Riviera Resort. And so the Skyliner can connect you to a bunch of different locations, including Hollywood Studios, Caribbean Beach, Art of Animation, the Boardwalk, and Epcot. So you got a lot of options. It's really great transportation system. I really love transportation systems that aren't the bus.
Yeah. Boats, monorail.
Obviously, the con that comes along with that is that the Skyliner can be a little temperamental at times. It doesn't function when there are thunderstorms in the area. We all know it had a couple issues when it first came up. So
Good thing it doesn't rain in Florida.
take it with a grain of salt. Be careful when you use the Skyliner, but I really do love it, and it gives you access to a bunch of different areas around the resort. So
Totally, and I think like as you're finding, anybody that's looking into Disney resorts, is like a lot of the pricing now is kind of going up for these resorts that are on the Skyliners, the line, because I mean it's just amazing access, and because Molly and I like to go for walks, I think a great suggestion that I would say is, if you really want to get a good walk in and get on the Skyliner, is you can start at the Riviera Resort right at that kind of outdoor plaza, walk all the way around the Caribbean Beach, keep walking through the Caribbean Beach, and there's another Skyliner. That's like their main pit stop right there. That connects to
that's
Hollywood
kind of where the merge is
resorts.
between the two resort lines and the Hollywood Studios
Yeah,
line.
exactly. So like the Riviera is almost perfect because you have access literally like one line, boom, you're on your way to Epcot. Another line, you're at the station or a walk, and you're at Hollywood. So it's a great location. I mean, any resort on Disney property that gives you that good of access to the parks without doing the buses, as Molly said, because honestly, Riviera, that's kind of a con, but it's kind of a con everywhere. I spent 2 separate times I've spent over 30 minutes waiting for a bus.
Especially with COVID being a thing now, I think
Yeah.
the Skyliner is going to be a really great form of transportation because you can basically have your own little vestibule to yourself. When we
They're
went
probably
on,
going to have to do that.
right,
now.
when we went on the buses, like there was dividers and seats were blocked off and
Numbers on the seat.
numbers, and it's it kind of stinks because You know, like, we definitely aren't going to be able to get as many people on the buses, and at least with the Skyliner, like, I think you just feel a little bit more safe.
Yeah, definitely.
In terms of, you know, like, that contact, because you have your own, it's your own little vestibule.
And I know there, you know, obviously people, the refute to that might be, like, the rebuttal rather, might be people being like, oh, we're not supposed to be in, like, enclosed spaces, and obviously I understand that, but I'm sure Disney, of all places, is going to be taking care of, like, you know, cleaning every single space as much as possible.
Right.
So,
and we don't know when the Skyliner is opening, actually, but while we were staying at the Riviera
I believe
about
it's the
2 weeks
16th
ago,
of July.
they were running kind of some test lines, so that will be opening soon if you plan on staying at Riviera or any of the resorts that are connected to it. Moving on to the next point, and kind of like one of our last points, the pro is that the food at the Riviera Resort is fantastic. I am a huge fan of European food because I love cheese and pastries and veggies, and it was so good. Because Riviera was the only place that was open for us, we ate every single meal at the hotel. At the quick service location.
Yeah.
And the food, it was delicious. It was great.
Yeah, so their main quick service location is called Primo Piatto, and there's a large variety there. The one thing I will say, I guess it's a con in some ways for some people, is it does heavily lean into the European influence. Like,
Right.
It's not like a lot of Disney quick service locations, like chicken and fries and pizza and, like, just very plain stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we find that as a pro because you're getting more unique quick service food,
Right.
which
Also,
is rare at Disney.
Yeah, also, I feel like, you know, these unique meals that they have are about the same price as, you know, a chicken nugget meal. And it's fresh, and it's good food, and you're not eating, you know, fried chicken. That being said, I think they do have, like, kiddie options. They definitely still do, like, nuggets and pasta and stuff like that for little ones. But they just have really great options for food. They have, like, you know, like tuna Niqua salads for lunch. They have spicy Italian subs. Even their pizzas are delicious. Like, you can tell they're not frozen pizzas.
Yeah, that ham and cheese we got that had, like, the cheese draped all over the top was really good. Our friend Yosef actually got it and was, like, pouring syrup on top. It's like, it's really good food. It honestly is.
Right.
And that brings us also to Topolino's Terrace. Now, we haven't been there, but it's an amazing new character location. Everyone's going there for brunch, and you get even better views. You're literally on a rooftop. So
yeah, so it's a rooftop bar or rooftop restaurant. We've never, like I said, we've never been, but it's supposed to be beautiful, and the food is supposed to be absolutely delicious. The food definitely is a little pricier because it's a sit-down restaurant, and it does offer character dining for some meals.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're gonna go to Disney, like, why not go all out?
Yeah, and I guess that to conclude this, like, one of our last cons is it is very, very pricey.
Yeah.
I mean, the drinks, like the beverages, everything. So there's a little spot there in the lobby where it's really cool actually. They have, like, desserts and stuff like that, and it's attached to this lounge. I believe it's called the Voyagers Lounge. And they do drinks there, but just be aware you're spending $14, $16 a drink,
which isn't super unusual.
Yeah,
on Disney
it's pretty
property.
common for Disney.
But you know, there are places like in Disney Springs you can swing a vodka soda for like $8 or something like that.
Yeah. So just be aware of that.
Yeah, you're just gotta be aware of that. Another note on the food. As delicious as the food is, and I could probably eat that food continuously. There is only one quick service location at Riviera. So.
Well, Bar Riva has a few things, but it's
Bar
not
Riva has a couple
in-depth.
options. However, their menu, everything on their menu is at Primo Piatto. So there's nothing individual from Bar Riva that you can get that you can't get at Primo Piatto. However, that being said, you are super close to Caribbean Beach. So if you feel like taking a walk over and trying out, I think they have at least one quick service location and then like 2 sit-down restaurants.
They have several
they have
spots.
They have a little bit more of a variety.
And the pool bar.
Right, and the pool bar. So once everything is open, like, you definitely have more options in that area. But if you are just staying at the resort, then it's a little limited.
Which kind of makes sense because, like we said, it's a smaller resort, so they're not going to have a lot for you in that regard. But to kind of wrap this whole thing up brings us to the pool. It's kind of could go on the pros and the cons list, the pool, because on the pro side of the pool, I will say that The quiet pool is nice and big, and although it is in the plaza, we found it to be plenty private enough because of like bushes and
Yeah,
gates
they
and
kind of
stuff.
like block it off just so you have a little bit more privacy.
And it is open later, and also both of the pools obviously are just in such a beautiful location with the lake and the walk there. But it is small, especially for a deluxe resort.
Yeah, the pool is a little small, especially when you compare it to places like the Yacht and Beach that have that 2-acre sand bottom pool, which I'm obsessed with.
Yeah, not much can compare to that.
But the pool itself was beautiful. Like, it did have like the walk-in, so it's like, I don't know, I can't remember the name for it, but it's like you're walking into the ocean. Like, there's not steps, you just like
Infinity
walk in.
or something like that.
Something like that. And then they had the water slide was cool and stuff. Definitely not the most fantastic resort pool we've seen on Disney property, but
yeah.
I mean, hey, I'll take it.
Exactly. And we actually did a whole tour of the pool area, a whole nother video on our channel. This is going to be like our 5th or our 6th video, ironically, on the Riviera Resort, and it just opened up in December. So one of our bigger playlists. So if you're interested in checking out the room tour or the pool tour or the resort tour, or like safety measures, we've done all sorts of videos now for Riviera Resort. We have all sorts of information on it. Hopefully we get to a point where we have that kind of stuff on every resort on Disney. But if you're new to the channel, thank you so much for tuning into our video. We hope we kind of covered quite a bit here. Yeah, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and we are partnered with the Disney blog, so we do videos for them as well. Articles, videos, all sorts of stuff. You can check them out on all sorts of social medias. And we just appreciate you guys supporting us. We are on a new schedule, hopefully. We are trying to post every Monday and Friday.
We're trying.
So we're going to try to keep up with that. We're both very busy, have full-time jobs and lives and stuff. But we're going to try to get you guys as much content as we can. And if you ever have a video request, leave it in the comments.
And we are going to be kind of expanding our focus now outside of just Disney. We'll probably be doing a little bit more Universal.
Yes.
And just Orlando area in general. For those of you who don't know, I'm a cast member, so I unfortunately am blocked out of the parks until September, which breaks my heart.
Yes,
but
it's rough. But yeah, we will be. We're trying to do more local restaurants, food stuff. I'm going to put together some kind of like smaller clips and that kind of stuff on TikTok. I just posted one actually on just like local venues. I'd love to do more full videos all over Orlando. And Universal, the reason she mentioned that, because I just impulse bought an annual pass the other day. They have this great deal going on until September 30th, by the way. You can get 15 months for like 11 months or something. It's a great deal.
He went without me and impulse bought a Universal pass, which I can guarantee you wouldn't have happened if I was there. But he was there with one of his
not so great influence friends.
No. And they were like, let's do it. But, I mean, whatever. To be honest, I'm probably going to buy one too, so I can't judge.
So now we got to convince Molly to get one, and we'll be doing lots of Universal
Honestly,
content.
I'll do it just for Harry Potter.
Yeah, and we haven't done the new ride yet. So.
All right.
Yes.
So.
Thank you so much for tuning in. As I mentioned, we're all over those social medias, and we got a whole Riviera playlist. Check that out. Check out any of our new Riviera videos, and we will catch you on the flip-flop.
Bye. Jesus.
There she goes.